This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
Hello, football fans, and welcome to the Onside Kick. My name is Ricky Widmer, and as always, I'm joined by the Mark Weber.
Dub them ease.
And I don't mean to sound like a broken record here. Usually we like to have different topics on the Onside Kick from week to week. But I think for the month of September,
we're going to repeat the whole thing.
We're a Cowboys podcast for the month of September.
Yeah,
Go
you know what?
Dallas Cowboys.
Go boys.
America's team.
That's what they like to say. So, what else are you going to talk about? I mean, the Dallas Cowboys.
Or
right?
the New York Jets.
Who? Who? Which football team is that?
They kind of won last night over the Colts.
The New York Football Jets?
We could talk about the debacle in Indy and Seattle.
Yeah.
If talking about 0-2 teams is how you think about starting off your Tuesday night, I mean,
You know, I like thinking about teams that just disappoint me in every possible way.
especially a team that you picked to win the Super Bowl, like I did.
Yeah, but you know, of course.
Did you pick the Seahawks?
Yeah, to go and win.
Okay, so both
now,
of our Super
to
Bowl
be fair,
winners.
didn't they start like 0-4 or something like that?
I don't know.
before?
I don't
They
know.
started pretty badly last season. I'm actually amazed that hasn't been a storyline yet, because everybody. Well, I know everybody was pretty much like they're going to just walk away with the entire season.
Well, I thought they
And they
would
had a slow
utilize
start.
Jimmy Graham a little bit better.
Well,
but
the funny thing about that to me is who are the two biggest moves? Jimmy Graham and then of course DeMarco Murray. Who is not being used by their teams?
Neither.
Jimmy Graham and DeMarco Murray. Neither one of them being used at all.
I don't get it. But we are talking, you see it on your computer screen as the title of this podcast. We're talking Dallas Cowboys for the second week in a row. And the reason being is today, as we are recording the Onside Kick this week, the Cowboys have traded for Matt Cassel, giving up a 5th rounder to the Buffalo Bills and getting Cassel and a 7th rounder. Both of these draft picks are for the 2017 draft, though, not for this upcoming one.
Yeah, surprise, guys. Matt Cassel still in the league. Got cut by the Bills, picked back up by the Bills, traded by the Bills. Nobody wants this guy. You know, I feel like we've been saying for a long time that this is the place. If Matt Cassel's going to do it, this is the place. He did it. That was the talk in Kansas City,
then Minnesota.
That's his place. And of course, he had a little bit of it in Buffalo, and that didn't go well. But you know.
Or that one season in New England. Don't forget about that.
Well, that was an actual good season, but that was Bill Belichick involved, and that's just magic. So, I don't know. I mean, is this going to be any different? Probably not, but it's better than Brandon Weeden. I mean, anything's better than Brandon Weeden. It's gotta. Do you feel like you would be insulted if you're Brandon Weeden? Like you're sitting there, like, all right, guys, I'm gonna start now. I get to do it. I'm 33 years old, and I get to start. And then they bring in Matt
another
Flynn.
33-year-old.
They bring in. Well, I don't know if Brandon Weeden's actually 33. He might be 34.
Matt Cassel is 33.
But yeah, they bring in all these guys, all these scrubs who don't have jobs.
They brought in Flynn. They brought in Bethel Thompson, Josh Johnson, and Christian Ponder.
Yeah.
They tried them all out Tuesday and then said, oh, wait, we got to trade. Sorry, guys, go home.
These guys just aren't good enough. We got to make a trade here. If I'm Brandon Weeden, I know Brandon Weeden's not a starter, but he was a first-round pick just a few years ago. You think he's sitting there going, oh, man, I thought I was going to get a shot.
But he did play for the Browns.
Yeah, I know.
He played for the Browns. Let's be honest here.
So with that being said, though, it's a much better team with the Browns. Don't you think, like, maybe I got a real shot. Maybe I can really look decent and then have a Matt Flynn situation where I get, a big deal somewhere else.
To me, here's the thing I don't understand about this, and it's in the ESPN article let me find it. It says, and I quote, the Cowboys plan to start Brandon Weeden in Romo's absence with Cassel installed as a backup against the visiting Atlanta Falcons in Week 3. Kellen Moore will be the number 2 quarterback. Cassel will be number 3, a source told ESPN. And here's the thing I don't get. I understand that Cassel can't jump right in and boom, know the playbook from day one. But part of me says, yeah, you didn't trade for this guy to be the backup to Brandon Weeden.
Did you say Kellen Moore?
Yeah, Kellen Moore.
Boise State?
Boise State quarterback.
Did not know he was in the NFL.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Your face was like, Kellen Moore?
Yeah, I'm like, that guy's plays? All right, cool. Good for him. You can't put Matt Cassel in right away. You really can't. Unless you want him to wear like 3 of those sleeves that have all the plays on them. Because he's not going to have any clue what's going on out there.
But you didn't trade for this guy to be the backup to Brandon Weeden, am I right?
You didn't. But I think you have to know in the back of your head, if you tried out 4 quarterbacks and then you traded your 5th-round pick next year for this guy, you know that Brandon Weeden's not the real deal.
We got to say in 2 years, because technically next year's draft is the one that's coming up next. This is
I would consider that this year. Next year is next season.
I guess. I maybe it's because I'm not in draft mode yet.
I'm always in draft mode, Ricky. But, so, I mean, you know that Brandon Weeden's going to fail you. And you obviously don't believe in Kellen Moore either, for some reasons on your roster.
Well, I mean, the Lions cut him how many weeks ago, years ago?
So, I mean, obviously they're sitting there, Jason Garrett's sitting there, Jerry Jones sitting there going, these aren't our guys.
These guys.
We got to get this guy over here.
Guys.
We got to bring in this guy over here to make these guys a little bit better. They know that Brandon Weeden's probably not making it through this game. He's going to throw interceptions because that Falcons team is good. And they are going to take the ball away from Brandon Weeden because Brandon Weeden is not good. So, and you really, on game day, okay, I see what the depth chart is. Congrats. But on game day, when Brandon Weeden throws his 3rd interception and it's the 2nd quarter, do you say, all right, Kellen, get in there, boy? Or do you go, hey, Cassel, come over here. What's your name? Mark? Get in there. Get in there and play.
You want to know something, though, that I find really funny? The last season that even though you got me calling
Mark Cassel.
Matt Cassel, his evil twin, Mark Cassel, though. Matt Cassel, 33, Brandon Weeden, 31. It's only 2 years between them.
Off.
However, Matt Cassel's his greatest season in the NFL, 2010, played 15 of 16 games, over 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 INTs. You want to know what Brandon Weeden was doing at that time?
Play baseball?
Starting for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, were in that season 13 games, threw for over 4,000 yards, 34 touchdowns, 13 INTs in college as a junior.
Nice.
He's a junior in college when Matt Cassel had his best season with the Chiefs.
And only 2 years off. They're about the same age. Might as well be. Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, you feel bad. These are the kind of things. I mean, I'm a Bears fan. I feel it too because Jimmy Clausen's now our starting quarterback, apparently.
For now. Tim Tebow's coming, man.
I hope.
John Fox is going to sign.
I hope.
He's going to sign Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow won 7 games with John Fox.
Jimmy Clausen, and a playoff game.
Jimmy Clausen, how many games did Jimmy Clausen won with John Fox?
0.
How many games has David Fales won on the practice squad?
Or are you
Big Wobbin 0?
Or are you failing or failsling for Cardell?
I want to use the hashtag. I really do want to use that hashtag.
Fails for Cardell.
I want to use it so badly, but I mean, I don't want Cardell anywhere near my team.
Hashtag fail or fails for Cook, fails for Hackenberg.
I don't really believe in any of these quarterbacks, to be honest.
None of them have Andrew Luck appeal, but however, Andrew Luck's a bust.
So let's not get excited about Andrew Luck. I've never seen a bigger bust in my days, and I've seen Trent Richardson. So I don't know what you guys are talking about.
But right now,
someone's really angry in our comment section right now, by the way.
Whoever the Colts fans are. But we talked about this well, of course we did, because we talked about Des Bryant. I sound like a broken record. That's what's going to be all podcast. But Des Bryant, we said that his timetable to return week 10 against Tampa Bay. Well, Romo, we know now he is on the IR/designated to return. And the earliest he can come off of that is week 11 at Miami.
Yeah,
so
it's
we
a disaster.
know from now until the 22nd of November, one of these quarterbacks has to do it. Is Matt Cassel the guy?
Well, by default, sure. because it's not going to be anybody else. I mean, does anybody in the world believe that Brandon Weeden or Kellen Moore are going to win a single game? Nobody spoke up? No, nobody thinks so. Not a single person in the world.
Brandon Weeden may be able to beat Philly on the
Here's
week
the
9.
thing. Here's the thing, guys.
Maybe.
When Brandon Weeden, I was watching the game when Romo gets hurt, Brandon Weeden comes in, there was a moment where I said, cool, it's Brad? What's his name? I literally could not remember his first name.
Brandon Weeden?
Yeah, I did not know what
Brad Weeden?
Well, I was like, is it Brian? Is it Brad? I knew it was a B name. I did not know this guy's name anymore. I completely blocked him out of my memory.
Because he was terrible.
He was
with the Browns.
It was bad, and it was a joke. Why do you draft like a 30-year-old quarterback?
Okay, well, I mean,
in the first round.
His first season wasn't terrible. Over 3,000 yards. I mean, 14 touchdowns and 17 interceptions is bad, but I take those interceptions as you're on the Browns.
We get angry about Jay Cutler throwing 18, but 17 is okay.
Okay. Jay Cutler never played for the Browns.
No, but he played for the shitty-ass Bears.
Jay Cutler had a defense behind him.
Since when? 2006? He wasn't on the 2016. That was Rex Grossman. Do not remind me about Rex Grossman. I remember him every night.
Unleash the dragon.
When I am having nightmares.
Unleash the dragon.
I wish that the Dallas Cowboys were unleashing the dragon right now. Remember, was it the Browns or was it the Redskins?
Redskins had him.
But no, the team that called Rex Grossman I think it was around Thanksgiving.
Oh, the Browns.
And he said, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah, the Browns.
He said, "I don't want it. Sorry, you can keep your start. You can keep your million or whatever he's gonna get."
Mm-hmm. You want to know how much Brandon Weeden's getting paid?
Bag of cookies?
Not a bag of cookies. $660,000.
That's more than I make.
That's his salary.
It's more than I make.
Out of all the starting quarterbacks that are going to start this week, he makes the least.
Pretty impressive.
However, he does play in the what, Mark? NFC what?
Least.
The NFC least.
Hey, they're living up to their name right now. They really are.
Remember how many people got mad at you when you started that with AFC least?
The AFC least isn't doing terrible.
No, it's the NFC least, which is the real.
To be fair, though, the Dolphins are really disappointing, and everybody else. We all look like idiots for saying they were going to win everything, and no, apparently not. Apparently, we were all very, very wrong.
But the way I see it is, if Matt Cassel's your guy, which he should be your guy, let's be honest, Cowboy fans, come on, he's your guy now. I don't know if it's going to be really hard for me to say, and this is a team I just want to throw out there. My Super Bowl winner is 0-2 right now. My NFC champion is without Tony Romo and Des Bryant. Mm-hmm. So I kind of feel like last year I picked the Bears to win.
You did.
And they did terribly. And the Colts did better, but if I pick your team to win the Super Bowl, it's a kiss of death
sentence
on your team.
Yeah.
But Matt Cassel, I don't think he's the guy to lead them.
But he's the best option.
Yeah,
he's the only thing available. What are you going to do? Try and trade for Jimmy Garoppolo? That's your only option.
Oh,
that's the only other option.
That would be a good option.
But you know that the Patriots are going to ask for a king's ransom.
Or instead of Matt Cassel, call up Bill O'Brien. Hey, Hoyer, Mallett, which one you want to give us?
No, he's going to ask for too much. You're not going to get one of those guys for that 5th round pick next draft.
Mm-hmm. Nah,
you're going to be going up to that 3rd round pick, which I know isn't anything too high, but that's kind of valuable.
Should they have traded for RG3?
No.
Give RG3 a shot?
Who the fuck wants RG3? Really? Who wants RG3?
Hey, if RG3 can be the RG3 of old.
And the of one season of his rookie year, then he got the stanky leg, and it's done.
The stanky leg.
But I think the thing about RG3 too is you got to remember this is a guy who is star profile. Mm-hmm. Wherever RG3 goes next season, he's going to be expected to start. RG3, I highly doubt is competing for a starting job. He is going to be the assumed starter. He could lose the starting job easily, but he'll be the assumed starter in that situation. How
about Zach Mettenberger? Why didn't they try to get a deal for Mettenberger?
Castle is proven.
I guess.
Mettenberger's not. Or Mettenberger, not Zettenberger.
I feel like Mettenberger you can get at a cheaper price, though. You didn't have to give up a 5th. You can give up a 6th.
Maybe. But I
maybe
think,
I'm devaluing Zach Mettenberger.
No, I don't think you are.
Because I'm just trying to think of other teams that have the quarterback
The situation
options.
for this, I think, is simply that Matt Cassel, we've seen him do good and we've seen him do okay. We've also seen him do bad. But we've seen him do pretty decent, and they are holding off. I mean, they're holding on for dear life for these next 8 weeks. 9 maybe weeks.
I'm probably jumping the gun here, but I'm just going to say, straight through to that Miami game, you're going to lose this week to Atlanta because Brandon Whedon's your starter for this week. New Orleans,
Drew Brees isn't there.
Coin flip, because
so,
Drew Brees
yeah.
ain't going to play. So maybe a win. You're not going to beat Tom Brady now without Dez and Romo.
You guys weren't going to beat Tom Brady in the first place.
I think the Giants can beat you in round 2. They should have beat you in round 1.
They're going to be really pissed off
gonna
that
be interested.
they have blown 2 leads at the end of games now.
I'm going to the Seattle game.
They're 100% of blowing leads.
The Seattle game I'll come back to. Philly, I'll give you a win only because everyone can beat Philly right now. Tampa Bay, I will give Jameis Winston a win over this team. And then that leaves that Seahawk game I skipped. Probably by that time the Seahawks get it clicking,
Oh, yeah.
you're losing 5 of these games. And that's what? You're already 2-0. So 5 losses.
I would even say that's fairly optimistic.
2 wins, you're 4-5 at that point.
I even think you're being a little optimistic, Ricky.
But then you tell me what you think.
Lose every single game.
All of them?
What are they going to win? I mean, to be fair, Drew Brees isn't there for the Saints. But
New
it's
Orleans
an away
and
game.
Philly.
Away game. I think by this point, Philly has to have it together, right?
So you're kind of the same thing I said for Seattle. You're saying with Philly?
Yeah, they have to look better than they do right
See,
now.
I think, and this is me with Philadelphia, and their biggest problem is Sam Bradford. And I'm not saying...
he'll be hurt by then.
Well, no.
It's fine.
I'm not saying that as like bashing Sam Bradford. I'm saying it as the Chip Kelly, like it mind boggles me how Chip Kelly's offense, you need a quarterback who can both run and kind of throw the ball. Kind of needs to run. Running is a primary option to throwing it. And you go ahead and get rid of a guy in Nick Foles that can do both to get a guy who can't run, who's a pocket guy, but he can't run because he's had knee injuries. And I'm totally saying he's not a runner because he's had knee injuries. So because of that, you're kind of, every time you go to quote-unquote read option it, if I'm the defense, fuck it. I'm going to let Sam Bradford try to beat me. Just target DeMarco.
Yeah, it's, well, not even DeMarco, because DeMarco doesn't play that much. They don't let him on the field.
And looking at that, why did you trade? Like, I get it at the time, you thought Kiko Alonso would beef up your defense.
Chip Kelly ignores injury reports.
Not even that. Not even the fact that now Kiko's injured in that trade now.
Well, he had injury. He had an injury past, just like Sam Bradford. He wants both of them.
Well, I'm looking at it now thinking, did you really need to make that trade when you had LaShawn McCoy? You had LaShawn McCoy. Then you don't even have to worry about DeMarco. Let DeMarco go somewhere else.
Well, I mean, to be fair, nobody's going to run behind that line. That offensive line's absolute shit. And that's one reason why Sam Bradford's undoubtedly going to be hurt, and why Mark Sanchez will be starting for the Eagles at some point this season. You know what's the one thing, kind of bring this back to the Cowboys? If I am a Cowboy fan, or if I am Jerry Jones, I want DeMarco to go the entire season without producing anything. Because especially in this gap until the Tampa game, if DeMarco just lights fire and says, screw it, I'm the guy, and he starts scoring massive touchdowns, being the guy he was in Dallas, I bet you the first thing the media says, the fans will even say, is, probably should have franchise tagged him and let Dez walk. Yet again, you can't predict the future, but if he lights fire, well, that's another thing where it's like, probably should have gave the man his money and then tried to work a deal with Dez. I think in 1 or 2 more games, if Dez Bryant's not the main guy, or not Dez Bryant, if DeMarco Murray's not the main guy,
I was going to say, Dez ain't playing for a while.
He's not getting stuff done, I think his season's done in his mind. I think these next 2 weeks, if Chip Kelly doesn't turn around and say, yeah, you're in there, you are our guy, go out and you do it, you can see how frustrated he was on the sidelines. He's going to be checked out and create what we're all waiting for. Locker room cancer. It's going to fall apart. Chip Kelly's back in college. Because, I mean...
Or who
we're
would
still
even
waiting.
want him back in college? Like, what job?
Everybody's going to want Chip Kelly.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. He made Oregon relevant. Well, actually, Oregon was pretty decent before Chip Kelly, too. But he really brought it even further.
To their first national championship in a long time, though. So that was when Cam Newton beat him down.
There's definitely teams out there that are going to want. Imagine Chip Kelly in an SEC team.
Oh, that wouldn't work.
Oh no, but it would actually get him better players because who wants to play in the Pac-12? He'll actually get good players and he can actually have a defense.
Honestly, I think if Chip Kelly goes back to college, he's either going to be a Big 12 or a Big 10 coach.
Don't go to the Big 12. Big 12's a joke.
I'm leaning more towards Big 10 because I could see like not a top tier team, maybe like a team like Illinois. Like,
no, Ricky, calm down with that Illinois talk.
I'm not
calm down there.
Not starting any rumors here. Or like a team like ACC, Virginia Tech, because most of these top
no, he's
tier
gonna go
teams,
to a real team. That's what he needs.
Who's going to fire their coach? That's up there.
Well, I mean, I would avoid the ACC as a conference. Like, I agree if you're Big 10, or I just want. The reason why I would love to see him in the SEC is because he'll be able to recruit better players than he ever did in Oregon.
This could be more of a topic for the Primetime Podcast, but I'm just going to throw it out here.
Yeah, for sure.
If Charlie Strong leaves Texas, Chip Kelly, Texas Longhorns,
that'd be interesting.
Going to Texas.
I mean, then all their talk about how college football revolves around them will actually matter.
But we said the Cowboys. You said they're going to lose all the games until Romo gets back. I'm saying 4-5. Let's look at the other teams in that time. So you have Philadelphia right now, 0-2. New York Jets this week. That's a loss. Washington. Right now, Washington looks like they could beat the Eagles. However, I'm not for sure going to say loss. Week 5, depending on how long Breeze is out, the New Orleans game could be a win. The Giants, I think, beat them. Carolina beats them. Dallas, I'll give Dallas. I don't know. I'll give Dallas the win, I guess. And then Miami will beat them. That's another 5 losses for a team. And I gave them maybe 2 wins. So you're, 2-7 going into Week 11? Because they have a Week 8 bye too. Then the Giants, you have Washington, Buffalo, 49ers, Eagles, Cowboys, Saints, Bucks, and then the Patriots before their bye in Week 11. That's not a good schedule. And then the Redskins, Giants, Eagles, Falcons, Jets, Bucks, bye, Patriots, Saints. All of these teams have tough schedules in that time. So if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I'm saying, okay, good. Our division sucks as of right now, and they have to go up against tough opponents just like we do.
Yeah.
And if I'm Jason Garrett, I'm preaching to my team right now. The most important games are the divisional ones. Beat the Giants, beat the Eagles. We get through those. The rest of our division's going to suck, and then Romo and Bryant can come back. And boom, we can try to run the table.
But the problem is you're running the table against the Panthers, against the Packers, against the Jets, who so far are good.
But with Tony Romo and Des Bryant, I'd give them an upper hand.
I don't know, man.
However, it's how are they going to play
after all that time
post-injury?
Yeah, exactly. That time of not doing anything, really. Obviously, they're doing something, but I don't know.
I don't know. I think with the IR, I think Tony Romo, I don't think he can practice now because he's on the IR.
Well, he can do stuff on his own, I'm sure.
But like with the team, I don't think he can actually practice now because he's on the IR.
It's gonna be interesting. I mean, I feel bad.
And in that Week 11 game, we don't know if the Miami Dolphins are finally going to wake up by that time.
I don't know. I mean, they're going to go 0-16. I don't know what's going on right now with the Dolphins. It's just, to me, this whole division is primed for like an 8-8 playoff team.
Do we see the same thing we saw in the NFC West before Pete Carroll?
The 7-9.
7-9 division winner?
I mean, I guess it's possible because I don't see any of these teams really pulling it away. Maybe Washington can get it together because they've looked okay.
That was the year we had the Seahawks Saint wild card round.
That's when beast mode really came out.
Yeah, and the hold my dick move.
Yeah. That was he's the real deal now.
That was a good time. But I mean, if I'm the Cowboys, just to answer the question that is the title of this podcast.
Oh yeah, I can answer it in one word.
No.
Yeah, no.
Matt Cassel does not lead you to the playoffs.
Nope.
Does he lead you to a good record during this time?
No.
Maybe.
No.
I'll be more optimistic than Mark. I'll say maybe, but in the end, I know Brandon Whedon is starting this week, but come on. Matt Cassel is the guy.
I'm not convinced Brandon Whedon makes it through this game. Let's be real here. The
How
Falcons
many
are a
quarters
really good
does he
defense.
get through?
I might give him three quarters.
I thought you were going to give him a half.
I was thinking about giving him just one half, but I think he can really suck up the first half, go out there, first drive interception. They go, okay, forget it. Castle, you're going in. And Kellen Moore's going to sit there and go, wait, I'm number 2. And no one's going to pay attention to him.
If Atlanta wins this game, too, against the Cowboys, do we praise them for being 3-0? Or do we say, shut up, you beat 3 teams in the NFC least?
I think we should praise them because they came from rubble.
They would have beaten the Eagles, Giants, and Cowboys in their first 3 games.
They came from the dumpster. So let's give them some credit where credit's due. They really pulled themselves up.
Another team I want to talk about, mainly because of last night's Monday night game.
All right.
The New York Jets?
Yeah. Well,
are they really a team this year?
I mean, here's the thing about that Jets game. They looked legit for a while. And then I'm talking about Fitzpatrick. He looked really good. And then it just kind of was like, all right, neither team's doing anything. The Jets defense looks good. The Jets defense definitely looks good. But Andrew Luck also looks horrible. I mean, he looks bad. His own coach is calling him out, saying he looks like shit.
No.
His coach is saying he doesn't play well.
From what I understand, it's not... Pagano wasn't calling out Luck. He was calling out management, saying like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we got Andrew Luck, but we can't do anything because our offensive line sucks. This sucks. That sucks.
No, he said that the offensive line is bad. You would think that Andrew Luck would be used to it right by now.
Yeah, that was a jab at Irsay to say, hey, fucking fix
Yeah, but
this
he's
team.
also saying to Andrew Luck, you can't make those mistakes.
Nah, I think it's more of a jab at...
I mean, he's definitely taking the stab at management, but Andrew Luck is not getting a pass from coach. Not at all.
Nah, I think it's more of a management thing, but with...
Andrew Luck... Wait, hold on. Andrew Luck had 4 turnovers, and Pagano's response to that was, it's not that hard, it's not trigonometry. You're telling me that's not a stab at Andrew Luck? Stanford grad? I'm telling you, man. I'm not saying that he's throwing his coach under the bus or anything like that, but... Oh, yeah, and even going further, this is coming from NFL.com, that they mentioned the fact that Andrew Luck's degree is a math-based major. So that is a straight stab. This is from Connor Orr from NFL.com. That is a direct stab at Andrew Luck. And like I said, he's not saying I'm going to bench my number 1 overall pick. He's just saying, man, you're better than this.
Well, and because you brought up the Colts, I'm going to say this about them. I heard this last night on the late ESPN radio show here in Chicago. I think it's a national show. But the one thing the guy brought up was, hey, a good thing for the Colts is guess who you get to play 6 games this year against? Your division. And guess what? Your division isn't very good. The Texans are probably the best of the 3 teams, but your next 3 games, division. And if you can win those 3 games, you'll be fine. You just got to win if you're the Colts, you just got to win your division. That's all you got to do.
But if you're averaging 3 turnovers a game, Andrew Luck, gotta get that stuff together, man. Gotta get that together.
If Mariota beats Luck this weekend,
crown his ass.
If Mariota comes back out and looks like the Mariota we saw in week 1, and Andrew Luck throws 2 or more INTs,
man, the whole world would be wrong. in that case. I won't know what to make of anything anymore if that happens.
But back to the team I wanted to talk about. The team that won last night's game, Mark, the Jets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you buying into them at all, or is this just okay, they played the Browns and the struggling Colts?
I mean, I'm buying into them in the sense of I think they're good, but I don't think they're anything special. I think Fitzpatrick is very limited, but obviously miles ahead of Geno Smith. Geno Smith is the worst thing that's ever happened to football. They really I said it when he got punched in the face, and I'll say it again. The Jets lucked out. That guy did him a favor. I wouldn't be surprised if money was exchanged afterwards, and they said, "Hey, sorry that we got to cut you, but here's $1,000. Thank you."
Thank you for punching him in the face.
Whew, that was the best thing you've ever done for this team. But yeah, I mean, Fitzpatrick is fairly limited. They've done a good job of kind of controlling him, maintaining him, and not letting him make mistakes, because we all know he likes to throw interceptions. But this Jets defense is very, very real.
Can I say something bold?
I guess so. I guess I will allow this.
Jets fans, if you watched my preseason preview, this is going to go against everything that I said, because honestly, I thought teams would be different.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
because now football has happened.
There is a possibility, I'm going to say solid possibility, that before the Week 7 game between New England and New York, there's a good chance the Jets could be 5-0 going into that game. I think they beat Philly this week. They can beat the Redskins. The only game that's is that Miami game. But if they beat Miami with that bye at Week 5, they could be undefeated going up against the Patriots.
I mean, it's not a tall order. Let's be real here.
And
it wouldn't be that difficult for them to do this.
On top of that, before they play Buffalo on Thursday night, Week 10, they could be 7-1 going into that game.
Yeah. I mean,
7-1 going into their Week 10 game.
I hate to do this, but Ricky, you're saying it like it's a big deal. But
it's the Jets.
Yeah, yeah, sure, but they're playing the Eagles, they're playing the Dolphins, they're playing the Redskins, they're playing the Raiders, they're playing the Jaguars. Like, I get it. I do, and I see where your heart's at. I see that you want to make Jets fans feel good about themselves.
After I piss them off in the preseason.
I see you trying to make face here, but let's not get too excited.
Can I say another thing about the Jets?
Sure.
This team reminds me of the 2007 Chicago Bears.
Good, interesting.
Really good defense. Phenomenal defense. Probably the top defense that we've seen in the league so far.
You're talking about 2006 when they went to the Super Bowl?
2006, 07. I was thinking the Super Bowl
2005,
happened.
2006.
No, it was 06, 07. Because it was the 07 Super Bowl. Because it was my junior year.
Year after the White Sox won the World Series.
Yes. Thank you for throwing that in my face again.
You're welcome.
But just like that Bears team, the 2006, I think it would technically be, even though the Super Bowl was on 07, a great defense, just competent offense.
Rex Grossman's on the team.
Rex Grossman, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
You got yourself a quarterback.
They both like to throw it deep. They both like to throw interceptions. One of them went to Harvard.
Are these two teams not the same?
Yeah. How funny is it, though, that they kept mentioning the fact that Fitzpatrick went to Harvard throughout the game? Mention it all the time. Like, this is the only good thing you got to say about this guy is the fact that he went to Harvard. Also, they at one point, I forgot who it was, but someone says, like, we got a Harvard graduate.
And Stanford. Stanford.
They specifically said, and a Yale graduate, talking about the kick returner from
Okay.
Yale. And you're sitting there, Stanford's an Ivy League school.
Yeah. No, Stanford isn't.
Well, I guess it's not. I guess it's like just under Ivy League.
It's not an Ivy League.
But it's the fucking legit.
They got a good football program. It's not an Ivy League school.
No, they're a legit educational school.
No, I know they are,
good,
but they're not
legit
Ivy
academical
League.
school. Academic school.
Ivy Leagues usually don't have great football teams anymore.
No, they're a disaster.
No, not anymore. But yeah, this Jets team. They could make the playoffs. I am totally. I mean, it's 2 weeks into the season, overreaction still.
Sure,
but if you go 7-1 into that Bills game, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games left, odds are you can maybe win 3 of them.
I still think, though, even though this Jets team does look, I don't want to say legit, but
They look
fairly
surprisingly
legit.
good.
Yeah, I still think they're going to mess a couple of these games up. A couple of these games that we're like, oh, man, they can totally beat the Raiders. I don't know. The Raiders look pretty good. I mean, for a team that we don't expect to be good, they look pretty good.
Todd Bowles has that defense on point.
Yeah, but
I think they
Fitzpatrick's
have-
bound to have a 3-interception game here or
I
there.
think they have, 7 former first-round picks on that defense. They weren't all
just saying,
products of the Jets, but
that defense is
talent.
good. That defense is for sure good, but they are. You compared them to the 06 Bears. They're not that level. So they're not going to say you can throw 5 interceptions and we'll still win you this game.
And guess who could come back after week 4? Because the league has said nothing about further punishment. Sheldon Richardson.
That'll help a lot. That'll help a lot.
Could you imagine how this team looks with Richardson on that team now?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that defense is good. I just think that Fitzpatrick's going to mess a few games up. I mean, let's remember, this is a guy who played on the Texans. That was a good defense. And he still messed things up.
Yeah, but you know what I'm going to say?
You can put this guy on the Seahawks, and he will mess things up. He'll be good, but he'll still mess things up.
Let me pull up their schedule again really quick. I am going to say...
Also, we're discounting the Bills a little bit in this conversation. I think the Bills,
I'm
they
not.
played the Patriots.
No, that's
why they have a loss.
That's why I said 7-1 into that Bills game, and I have yet to say who would win that game. Because that's a game where Jets probably lose that one. Because the Bills are pretty good this year.
I would put the Bills in before I put the Jets in when
Yeah.
it comes to playoff conversation.
However, and I'm actually I'm doing a little bit of research here before I say this.
Look at you.
Oh, no, it's
No.
not. It's not going to be the same week. It's not going to. If I wanted to match it up to the week, I would have to say week 6. But I'm going to say week 15 at Dallas. What's going to happen is the Jets are going to play the Cowboys. The Cowboys are going to go off to a nice lead. I'm going to say, I don't know, 20-0 lead going into half.
Sure.
And then Revis Island and that defense is going to score 24 points in the second half. Not all for the defense, but they're going to lead the way. Cowboys only score 3 in the second half. Jets win that game to go, and they win it 24-23.
Okay.
Do you know where I got that from? And Fitzpatrick will throw 0 touchdowns and 4 INTs.
Then you're going to be referencing they are who we thought they are.
That's exactly, they are who we thought they were, by the way. We let them off the hook.
let me not use correct grammar here for a second.
They are who we thought they were. We let them off the hook.
Yeah, it's oh man.
I mean, I
times.
pick week
Good
15
times.
because it's a team like actually the Cardinals weren't good then. That was the Dennis Green. So you know what? Screw it. It's not going to be week 15. It'll be week 6 against the Redskins. Same thing with the Redskins.
I think you're giving too much credit to this Jets defense, though, for sure.
Oh, okay.
We're talking the 06 Bears were the best defense we've seen since the 85 Bears.
Well,
We're giving a little too much credit to the Jets defense.
Okay, I'm not saying they are the best defense in sliced bread. I'm
The Seahawks
just saying
would be very upset about that.
I am hashtag LOB.
Richard Sherman's going to say, you sit your mediocre podcast ass down.
Man, I would love if Richard Sherman listened to our podcasts, but
He's busy trying to figure out what the fuck's wrong with his team right now.
is he looking at the scoreboard like he did during the Super Bowl? Huh? What?
I love those reactions.
But what was I going to say? I wasn't saying. I'm not. Okay, I'm going to clarify myself.
You're not crowning their asses.
I'm not crowning their asses. It's just
surprising.
They could be. How do I want to phrase this? I'm thinking about how to phrase it. They have the potential to be that good.
You expected them to win 4 games. Now it looks like they can win 8 or 9.
I'm looking at it differently now because I've seen actual football on the field.
Yeah, real football's nice.
New York fans, I'm sorry, but however they lose the next 2, if they lose to Philly, fuck it, they're going 2-14. If you lose to Philly, because Philly is terrible.
Yeah, they're the worst.
Philly is like the Cleveland Browns. If you lose to them, your season's over.
Pretty much. You just go, you know what, we're good, guys.
If you lose to Philly this year, you know what? You're not
Everybody pack it up, go home.
You're not allowed into the playoffs this year.
Yeah, just go home. Decker's got to. Well, Decker's avoided a season-ending injury, is what they're saying. Hopefully he's back because that's a big part.
They still got B. Marshall though.
Oh, Brandon Marshall's great.
Looks like a great trade for the Jets.
Oh yeah, it looks great. To be fair too, he's on a winning team. Put him on a bad team and things will go downhill.
The Bears?
Yeah, put him on a team that's not winning and things go bad in the locker room.
Can I ask you a Bears type question?
Sure.
I was listening. This whole week I've been listening to Waddle. You guys know I listen to Waddle and Sylvie almost religiously now, and they were talking about the Bears, obviously, because we're in Chicago.
Yeah.
And for the past few days, they've been talking about Matt Forte and this team and how you can't avoid. I think it was yesterday they made the analogy of. Yeah, it was yesterday. They made the analogy of Ryan Pace and John Fox are not going to do what Theo and Jed Hoyer for the Cubs did. They're not going to come out and say we're rebuilding. Mm-hmm. But really, the Bears are rebuilding. Yeah. They're in a rebuilding mode. Mm-hmm. Matt Forte is 30.
Yes, he is.
At the end of the year. Do you give him money to come back, give him his contract, or do you try to trade him this year?
No.
Do you trade him?
Trade him. No, you don't trade him.
To try to get something out of him.
I wouldn't do that. If this was Madden, sure, I would do it. But in real football, Matt Forte is the only reason you're going to win a game or two. If Jay Cutler's hurt for a long time.
Or are you franchise tagging him at the end of the year and trading him?
You're not paying him shit at the end of this year. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying franchise tagging him to trade him.
No, that's even a worse idea. And if you're going to trade him, then sure, trade him during the season and fails for Cardale.
Fails for Cardale.
And for Cardale, I mean the best defensive player on the board.
Joey Bosa.
Yeah, sure. Anybody you got, I'll take them gladly. This defense is a disaster. Kyle Fuller got his ass benched. I fucking said that needed to happen, and it did. Surprise. But yeah, it's just the thing about the Bears, they are rebuilding as much as John Fox wants to say they're not. The thing about John Fox is very much the guy who says quick turnarounds. That's all he's done. He's always had quick turnarounds when he comes into a team. He can fucking do it with Tim Tebow, so he can get a quick turnaround. Now, this Bears defense is not built for a quick turnaround because we've had disastrous management for a while, especially drafting. They had horrible drafts. We see it right now with Kyle Fuller. And Shea McClellan's still out there too. That's always fun.
And it's third different position?
Yep, third different position in I think 3 years. So that's great. But yeah, I mean, it's just it needs to be the roster needs to be completely revitalized with young players.
Is there anyone worth saving?
Langford looks good. Kevin White's supposed to be good.
Kevin White, is he going to play this year?
No, he's out for the whole year, I think is what that is.
You think so? I
think so. Jay Cutler apparently hurt his hamstring and they let him just go home. So I think it's a mistake. I jokingly said that I'm not a conspiracy. I said this to you, Ricky. I'm not a conspiracy guy, but Bears players, when they get hurt for some reason this year, they just don't play for a while. And it's not like, it never seems like it's a legit injury until like later on you find out what happened. Where like everyone's like, oh, it's a shoulder, it's his hand, he broke his hand, he messed up his shoulder. Then later on, John Fox goes, oh, it's his hamstring. Everyone's like, really? Hamstring? He was babying his hands when he walked out. What's up with the hamstring? I don't know what's going on, but it's...
And just to go off
I think they don't care. I think they want number 1 overall or something.
Just in case... You don't have a computer in front of you, even though you're listening to this podcast. Maybe you're doing it on your phone.
iTunes. Yeah.
But just to put you with some stats, what Mark talking about, quick turnovers. John Fox took over as head coach of the Carolina Panthers in 2002. 7-9 season, last in the South. 2003, 11-5, first in the South, goes and loses to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. That coming from 2001, where the Panthers beat the Vikings week 1 and then lost 15 straight games. 15 straight. So they went from 1-15 to 7-9. Then 11-5 and a Super Bowl appearance. Another 7-9 and 05 went back to the NFC title game under Fox. You get the point. With Denver, 2011, all of the years John Fox was there, went to the playoffs. 8-8 year under Tim Tebow. Divisional game loss against the Patriots. 2 13-3 seasons and a 12-14 with a Super Bowl appearance in 2013. 2010, before he came there, the Broncos had 4 wins.
Yep.
They were a 4-win team.
Now, this is not the Bears situation. Bears going from a 5-win season last year. They're going to be dropping to like 3 wins.
Similar to the Broncos one. However, unless the Bears sign Tim Tebow.
I hope.
Tim Tebow helped them go to that 8-8 year.
Hey, Tim Tebow beat the Bears that year, so...
Well, no, Marion Barbarian beat the Bears that year.
Because like, you guys want me to go in or out of bounds? What do you guys want me to...
You want me to run out of bounds? Cool.
I got you guys. Don't worry about it.
I got it.
I'll stop the clock for you. This Bears team needs to go like a 3-win season. They might need a couple of those because this roster has no youth to it. No good youth to it. So that they need a...
You know what's scary about that 8-8?
They need a culling is what needs to happen.
You know what's scary about that 8-8 team?
The Tim Tebow team?
Yeah. Week 1, Week 3, Week 5, and Week 17. Those were 3 games where they either lost by 3 or 4 points. They win those games, and they're a 12-win team.
They had a great defense. I mean, that's why they won. That's why they were able to have Tim Tebow as their quarterback, because their defense would only let 15 points or so on the board. And it's really easy to have a fourth quarter comeback when you only have to score a touchdown and a field goal.
Just like the Jets this year.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's no reason why Andrew Luck couldn't have beaten these Jets. There's no reason. They lost by 2 possessions. There's no reason why he couldn't have scored 2 touchdowns.
Well, it's kind of hard when you don't have a run game.
And your offensive line just disintegrates in front of you, and then you throw 3 interceptions.
But before we wrap up this week, what games are you looking forward to? What games jump off the page for you in week number 3?
Well, I think the Redskins-Giants game stamps up for me because I don't know what...
sarcastic?
No, I legitimately...
You love to be sarcastic with
I'm
bad
legitimately
games.
interested in this game because I don't know what to expect from either one of these teams. The Giants keep showing like, they can do something, and then they throw it away.
I got a question for you, and this is because you have Alfred Morris in fantasy.
That I do.
I said this week, one of my pick'ems, or pick-ups, I should say, for fantasy football, Matt Jones. Do you think, Matt, if you're an Alfred Morris owner, which you are, do you pick up Matt Jones? Or do you say, screw it, I'm going to stick with Alfred Morris?
I don't know. I might avoid the Redskins altogether at this point. There's a really good rookie in Arizona that I'm trying to get.
David Johnson?
Yeah, if I'm sitting there.
Good luck.
I know. If I'm sitting there and I need a running back, that's the first guy I'm looking at. Side
note, did you really put a claim on him in our league?
No.
Okay.
I'm not gonna
I was going to say, if you did...
I'm like 6 in the waiver wire. I'm not going to get him.
I'm going to look it up right now on my phone, and this is me kind of bragging, and I don't know why I'm bragging.
Bragging because you're number 1 overall on the waivers?
I think I'm number 1 on the waiver wire again.
Oh,
yeah, I'm number 1 on the waiver wire.
What a brag, Ricky.
For the second straight week.
What a brag. You've lost 2 games.
For the second straight week in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that there's better people to go for when you have Alfred Morris. Now, of course, when you have that situation where the worst player in your league, Ricky Widmer, gets that guy.
Like David Johnson, I'm saying. Not Matt Jones.
You might need to go for someone like that, but I mean, I don't know if I'm that confident about it.
Honestly,
I mean, Alfred Morris wasn't doing anything special when he was healthy.
Yeah, but Matt Jones, 2 touchdowns last week.
Yeah.
Is it just a booming week for him, or is he going to have any big play possibility? You know what a game that jumps off the page to me? A noon game, Colts at Titans. Because like I said, the Colts...
That's another one.
Everyone's expecting, like, okay, the Colts are going to come out. This is where they right the ship. However, I'm sitting there going... But what if we see Mariota be the Mariota from week 1? The Colts go 0-3. Their Super Bowl chances are probably 0 in my mind.
Mariota has a good chance to do really well because the Colts don't have cornerbacks anymore.
They got Vontae Davis, and that's it.
He's hurt. Well, I guess he might be healthy for this game. I don't know, but he got hurt. They were literally starting guys who have never played at the corner position yesterday on Monday night. So maybe Mariota can be legit out there and really throw all over this Colts defense because the Colts defense isn't good. So I don't know. Maybe that'll work for him. I wouldn't be. I actually, Ricky, as much as I said, like fantasy football, for example, Ricky really wanted Marcus Mariota, and I'm like, you're getting a little too excited here.
Okay, I didn't think the Browns were actually going to have a good defense. Especially
rookies.
after what. I thought that it was more of. I thought the Jets were better than the Browns, and I was like, okay, then the
Jets are better than Browns.
Well, it was more of the Jets offense being better than the Browns and the Browns just being the Browns. I just thought the Browns were the Browns week 1, and I thought, cool, Mariota against the Browns, easy win.
You thought they are who we thought they were?
They are who we thought they were. They were not, though, because they sacked them, 4 or 5 times?
I think this is an opportunity where the Titans can do really well, just because the Colts, honestly, they look like a situation where Pagano's fired week 8, and we're sitting here going, how are you guys possibly losing this many games? You are way better than that. Maybe they got too much talent. Is that possible? Can you have so much talent that you suck? I guess it's possible. No, they're just missing the key parts, really is what it is.
Another game I'm looking at is Niners-Cardinals. I mean, first NFC West game for each team. The Cardinals can go 0-3 in this one. I mean, they have a great shot. However, the Niners, what team are we going to see? The one where you beat the Vikings or the one where you lost to the Steelers?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, the Steelers are a good team.
It was a tale of 2 teams so far for the Niners. I mean, hey, so far my prediction's right. You still only have 1 win.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think another thing, too, I think Broncos are going to continue lucking into wins because Matthew Stafford, what's he going to do? He's hurt.
We got the winless bowl in Seattle.
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
Who gets their first win?
Well, Seattle is really pissed off, and like, there's no reason. If the Bears win this game,
the Bears are kind of like, whatever, we're the Bears.
The Seahawks because Jimmy Clausen's going to fucking start. If the Bears win this game, the Seahawks need to hang it up. They're done for the season at that point. But I really think this is a legitimate chance that the Seahawks are just blowing it all up because nothing makes sense. They're in their own heads from the Super Bowl. They're still not over it. Apparently, Cam Chancellor holds the keys to the fucking castle because he's not playing and nothing works.
Holds the keys to the fucking castle.
He's not playing, and all of a sudden, this defense looks like a bunch of scrubs. Like, what is going on?
You know
out there?
What would make that reference like 100% perfect. If they were playing the Cowboys, that would be good too. If Russell Wilson was the one that got injured and the Seahawks traded for Matt Cassel.
That would be great.
The keys to the castle. But here's a question I'm going to start asking you, Mark, each week now.
Sure.
The Giants, the Colts, the Ravens, the Saints, the Eagles, the Texans, the Bears, the Seahawks, the Lions. Best chance to get off of the winless schneid this week.
The one thing I will say, I think I appreciate your question.
It's a huge list, I know.
I appreciate your question. I think one thing that's a little silly about it is we got the Bears and the Seahawks playing each other. One of those teams is going to be on.
I'm just saying,
win a game.
Out of all of them, who's the team where if you had to pick an eliminator pool out of just the winless teams, who's your guy?
Well, I would go probably the safest pick and pick the Seahawks.
Only because they're playing the Bears.
They're playing the Bears, and they're playing the Bears at home, and they are very upset about the fact that they keep losing games. But I will say this. My heart of heart, it's telling me these Giants are going to win a game. They're going to win a game on Thursday night. I fully believe they've got it in them to not blow a lead at some point in this season. I've also made the joke that if the Giants are going to win a Super Bowl, it's this fucking year because everything looks awful. Tom Coughlin needs to be fired.
He's especially telling his team this week that, hey, remember when we won the Super Bowl in 2007, we started 0-2.
Not only that, but your division's a disaster, so you only have to win like 7 games to get into the playoffs. And we all know when the Giants don't win very many games and get into the playoffs, they win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. It was when they won that Super Bowl, they lost to Dallas week 1 at Dallas.
Yeah.
They lost to Green Bay week 2. I know, a little bit harder of an opponent than Philly. Then they went on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight wins before going into their bye week.
I'll even say, because it's a lot of people are pretty shoo-in for the Patriots to get into the Super Bowl. I'm just saying the Giants only win when they play the Patriots. I don't know, man. It's looking like it's going to happen for the 3rd time. This time all the balls will be properly inflated.
And I'm looking at the next 6 games for the Giants. Washington, Buffalo, San Fran, Philly, Dallas, New Orleans.
It's possible,
Besides that Buffalo game, they could go 6-0 in the next 6 games. Then play Tampa, go 7-0, and then lose to the Patriots. But they lose in the regular season, beat them in the Super Bowl.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Because they beat them when it counts, right?
Yeah.
They beat them when it counts. But how about... Nah, I'm not going to give you the same question. You know what I'm going to say, though? Mm-hmm. I'll give you the flip side.
Cool.
Right now, my highest probability to go 0-16, Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, man. You know what? It's very hard for me to believe that a team will go and be as bad as the Detroit Lions.
Not going to say they are for sure, but if I had to pick one of these teams week 3, I'm picking the Eagles.
Oh, for sure. And it's one of those things, too, because all in the offseason, everyone's saying we have no clue what this guy is doing, Chip Kelly. We have no idea what this guy's doing. Nothing makes sense.
Why did you get rid of Tim Tebow?
But everybody was sitting there saying, but we expect it to pay off.
But it's not.
We expect that you know what you're doing. Now we're sitting here going, oh, he had no fucking clue. He had no clue what he was doing, apparently, because nothing that he did has been working out so far.
Some guys are just meant to be college coaches, man.
Yeah.
Some guys are just meant to be.
I did not believe that the transition would work. Then he got here and it worked. Now, I think, like, hey, I might have been right.
Man, I told both you and Dave that first year, man, he's going to come in and he's just going to set the league on fire.
And he did.
Because no one knew how to. It was kind of like the Wildcat.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what to do the first year, and then everyone had footage and they're like, oh, that's how we beat it. Boom. Now no one does the Wildcat.
All right, we got it. I mean, we have every year with these read option mobile quarterbacks. They come in, they light the league on fire. Next year, oh, never mind.
Because we got footage
every
on them.
year. Now we see it. And it took a little bit longer, I guess, with the Philadelphia Eagles, you could say. But, I mean, I don't know. I think a big problem, too, is just, I don't know. This is an old podcast, but we had that argument, me, you, and Dave, of these players are too old. They cannot do this.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why DeMarco Murray's sitting on the sidelines. He cannot play that fast. He just can't do it.
Was that in our wide receiver quarterback tandem one?
I don't know.
I feel like that was the one we talked about.
It was around the Chip Kelly time when he was first coming, and you were a big proponent of when he made that claim of like they're only going to need 10 seconds. They need 10 seconds. That's all they need, or something like that.
10-second run out. Like, and Dave was against it because
I'm against it too. These guys are going to die.
You know what? It's possible.
We got big fat old dudes out there. They're going to literally die.
It's possible. We got our games that we're going to pick this week. You guys can check out the video on the YouTube channel for that. But Mark,
yes,
what's your surprise game for me? Who you giving me?
You know it's coming. Thursday night, the Redskins versus the Giants.
I'll pick the Giants in that one.
Good pick.
I will go Giants. What am I going to give you? I still don't know what I'm going to give you.
I was so excited when I saw that Redskins-Giants matchup. I'm like, Ricky's going to love it.
No, that one's too easy. I got to give you a hard one.
Sure, why not?
A difficult one.
Give me a hard one like the Patriots-Jaguars. That's a tough one. I don't know who's going to win.
How about Cowboys-Falcons?
Easy, Falcons.
No, okay. I don't know.
I'll let you switch it if you want to switch it.
It's either that or Colts-Titans.
Colts-Titans? Ooh, that's a tough one.
We'll go with that one then. Colts-Titans.
Interesting question. All right, here's the Colts-Titans. Mariota has everything he needs to have a successful game. That defense
But
is
can
a
Andrew
disaster.
Luck be Andrew Luck?
If all Andrew Luck has to do is not throw 3 interceptions, and they should be fine, right? Not have 4 turnovers because he fumbled it, I believe, once too. And you think that would happen, but that offensive line's a disaster. It's written on the wall that Pagano is going to get his, he's going to get the boot. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be a Ricky Widmer here, and I'm going to say the Titans are winning this game.
Super Mariota Bros.
I'm saying it's going to happen. It's set up very well for Mario to come back and say, hey, guys, sorry about last week.
Guys, I'm a real quarterback.
I can do this.
Guys, remember when I was good against famous
And then,
Jameis?
of course, Jameis Winston will do shitty because only one can be good a week.
Who are the Bucs playing this week? Oh, that's right, the Texans. So that means you're saying
Tough
that
defense. Texans they got to win.
Texans get their first win of the season.
They've got to win it.
Hey,
because
man,
if Mario's going to do well.
if Arian Foster comes back, that may be true. Because they only win when Arian Foster's on the field. When he's not, they lose.
They need a quarterback out there.
But that is going to do it this week for the Onside Kick. I want you guys right now in the comment section, tell us how we did today. Would you agree with what we said today? Did you disagree with anything? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you keep in contact with everything that we're doing on the YouTube page. If you're on SoundCloud, go ahead, hit that follow button while you're there, and then go over to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button so you have everything for you. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Ricky Widmer. Mark is at with 2 E's, Mark Weber. Most Valuable Podcast is at Most Valuable Pod. I want to thank you guys for checking out this podcast, and as always, have a good day, everybody.
Thank you for listening to this MVP podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Most Valuable Pod for more great podcasts.